Welcome back. Thank you so much for choosing to join us to kickstart your day. It's been a fantastic day so far. We've heard some very inspirational stories of survivors of breast cancer, some prostheses that have been making incredible differences in their lives. But of course, this being Breast Cancer Awareness Month gives us the opportunity to hopefully shift the stigma and address something that is so prevalent in South Africa, and it seems unnecessarily so.
Indeed, I think, I stated earlier that because the areas are hidden that we're referring to, well, usually they're hidden behind some really good-looking clothes, people are shy to expose those areas. And even although you might detect a little lump or bump, because of the stigma attached to breast cancer itself, of so many people having it and dying from it due to late detection, a lot of people just take the chance of it being a meaningless lump or bump. And then they just keep quiet about it. So many of the patients say, I wish I had shown it to someone that sees it every day, or that knows a little bit about it, because a lot of the masses and lumps and bumps we have are benign. In other words, that they don't amount to much. But we need to know that early so we can detect basically what needs to be managed and what not. The other thing is obviously people are also genetically often carry a bit of an emotional load to losing someone from breast cancer. All of us have a relative, aunt, or mother, or grandmother that, that's gone down that road. And then people are obviously more afraid of the emotional implications of that to actually talk about it instead of exposing it and getting it out there.
So true. Well, we are taking your calls this morning, and we've got Renee from Brakpan on the line. Good morning, Renee. What's your question for Dr. Darren?
Morning.
Good morning, leigh-anne.
Hi. What's your question for Dr. Darren, Renee?
My question is, what causes cancer? I have never heard what causes cancer to happen to us as women. I only hear how to prevent cancer, like using sunscreens, but to be told not to happen to you, or how does it happen to you? I have never heard what is the cause of cancer or breast cancer in our bodies, more especially women.
Thank you, Renee. Very good question.
Yeah, fantastic question. Do we know?
Yes, and there's so many variables in the medical science field of triggers that switch on genes that code for various cancers, both in men and in women, that we don't know of in terms of what contribution and what extent the contribution they make actually is. But what she needs to understand is cancer specifically refers to uncontrolled growth of a certain group of cells. The reason why we refer to tumors and masses is because a group of cells start dividing and multiplying at an uncontrollable rate. And your body normally has mechanisms that can switch that off. But what we do know is in cancer sufferers, that process of switching off, that multiplication of cells that aren't fully developed and slightly abnormal, cannot be switched off. And that's why the cancer then continues to grow and grow and grow, and these cells multiply at astronomical rates. So we need to look at modulating that, that process of multiplication of these cells. The influences that have been detected and proven already are the effect of hormones. We look at women that have been on contraceptives, oral contraceptives, for example, and estrogen therapy from young ages. We know that there's an increase of breast cancer in women over the age of 50, postmenopausal. Hormone replacement therapies, for example. So there are many different things in the environment, in our diets, and hormonally that can switch on the genes that contribute towards developing cancer.
And it might just be there in the genes.
Correct.
All right, well, we're going to continue our discussion. 0839133728 is the number to dial if you'd like to pose any of your questions to Dr. Darren Green relating specifically to breast cancer, being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Fantastic discussion so far. We'd love to continue that with you after we whip up something special in the kitchen. And this one seems incredibly easy to do, Ewan.